team. My name is Shelley, and I am a sort of new teacher on Outschool. I say sort of because I actually applied and started teaching about a year ago. And then after a couple of weeks, my full-time job got a little busy. And so I had to take kind of a year-long break from Outschool. But I recently decided to dust off my profile and jump back on that online teaching horse. So I'm using this channel to document my experience as an Outschool teacher and share what I'm learning along the way to hopefully help other teachers and people interested in becoming Outschool teachers. So a little bit of background. I am a full-time city planner for the loveliest Oregon mountain town in the West. I have a bachelor's degree in philosophy, a master's degree in city and regional planning, and another master's degree in public administration. I'm a little bit of a multi-hyphenate, so I have my regular full-time job. I have an Etsy shop where I sell job search optimization products. I have a podcast. I host and produce a podcast on housing policy in Oregon. And then I do Outschool. And why not throw a YouTube channel in the mix? Why not? Seems fun. So my online teaching experience started with VIP Kid back in 2017, I think. And I did that for about a year and a half and I loved it. But it just kind of got to the point where the hours were just too brutal. Trying to do that and a full-time job and some of the other things I was doing at the time just became too much. So I quit that. And then last year I discovered Outschool. I was referred by a friend of mine and I was really attracted to the fact that you design your own curriculum and you teach whatever you want to teach to whatever age group you want to teach it to. And the fact that I don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. doesn't hurt either. I researched some best practices for the application process, submitted all of my application materials, and actually got accepted in about 20 minutes. I'm actually currently working on a video where I talk about what I think I did right in my application process and in my application video. If you are interested in getting to see that video, click the subscribe button so you get notified. So like I said, I started teaching on Outschool last year, and then I took a pretty long break, and then I picked back up a couple of weeks ago. And there are 5 key things that I'm doing differently this time that I didn't do last time. That's what this video is about. Let's talk about them. Number 1, actually doing market research. So when I first started on Outschool, I really didn't pay attention to the market. And by market, I mean what classes are actually in demand. I just sort of created classes without much of a strategy, and of course, I didn't get very high enrollments. So this time around, I am really focusing on marketing. I've been doing a ton of research and learning a lot about things like keywords, funneling my classes, how to leverage social media, especially Pinterest, and how to really market my classes to the audiences that I want them to get in front of. Outschool itself is kind of a black box of marketing data. And by that, I mean, they don't really release a lot of their own internal data, which I can understand why they want to keep their cards close to their chest, but that also means there's a lot of information that we don't have access to. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out what information do we have access to and how can I leverage that most effectively. Number 2, focusing on my brand. So I didn't give much thought to branding myself my first time on Outschool. I made the mistake of assuming that Outschool is the brand. But what I've since figured out is that Outschool is just the platform. I'm the brand. I'm the one trying to sell the product. And I'm working on really coming around to the mindset that parents are more interested in who I am as a teacher than they are about the actual content that I teach. So branding is something that I'm still working on learning about, but I'm working on implementing it in my listing videos, in my listing descriptions, in my class images, in how I use social media, all of that. If you're interested in a video about branding on Outschool, comment down below and let me know, because I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna make one on branding. Number 3, changing the way I teach. So there tend to be two types of classes on Outschool. There's academic classes and then interest-based classes. And academic classes, obviously there's some overlap, but it seems like academic classes have some challenges as far as getting enrollments. I teach academic classes under the social studies umbrella, and I've definitely been trying to learn more about how to make academic classes more attractive, more engaging, and more fun for learners, so that parents are more likely to rate me high, and therefore I get more learners. I don't want to switch over to interest-based classes just for the sake of the high enrollments, because I am really passionate about teaching social studies, and I love teaching social studies. So one way to increase your class enrollments, obviously, is to make your classes fun. Even during my first round on Outschool, I obviously included, games and puzzles and a lot of interactivity in my classes, but I don't really think I marketed those as much as I really could have. So now, instead of burying the game element in the listing, it is the listing. For example, I teach a class on the First Amendment, and part of that class is a cryptographic escape room, so like a secret code that you have to decipher. And before, I marketed that class as like, here's the class on the First Amendment. You're going to learn about the First Amendment. Oh, and by the way, you're going to play this fun game. But now I'm teaching and marketing that class as an escape room game with a secret message that you have to crack the code. And while you're doing that, you're also going to learn about the First Amendment. It's actually all the same course content, pretty much the same lesson plan. It's just a little bit of a tweak in how I present the material and how I market the material. I'm also changing the way I teach by being willing to pivot. I'm still experimenting with different class topics and different age groups to see what I get the most enrollments on. But I'm working on developing the mindset that it's okay to drop ideas that aren't working, and it's okay to pick up new ideas along the way and to see if those are going to work, because pivoting is key for any successful business, and that's what Outschool is. It's a business. Number 4, giving it time. I think that getting started on Outschool can be kind of frustrating because you put so much time and energy and resources and money into the application process, into making a great application video, into figuring out what you want to teach, researching the market, listing your classes, developing your lesson plans. And it takes some time to see the fruits of your labor. It takes some time to build up your enrollments and start getting paid what you're worth. And that can be kind of frustrating and discouraging, I think, for new Outschool teachers. So this time around, I know I gotta trust the process. One thing that helps me is seeing how other successful teachers had to be patient at the beginning of their tenure on Outschool. I really like the Facebook group, the Outschool Teacher Hub, for this, because you can learn so much from veteran teachers, including learning the value of being patient at the beginning. And then finally, number 5, having a why. So knowing your why is vital for any business. It's your North Star. It's what gives you direction. It's what guides you. It's what you focus all of your goals and your priorities on. The first time around, I didn't have a why. This time, I do. My why is, as an Outschool teacher, I will help students develop their critical thinking skills and become more engaged and efficacious members of their local, national, and global communities, all while supplementing my income. So I include 2 things in my why: my pedagogical statement and my business statement. I genuinely care about teaching kids about the value of the world and the people and the systems that surround them. I'm 100% convinced that the future of humanity lies in good, solid social studies instruction. And at the same time, my Outschool business is a business. And if I want to sustain my capacity for educating kids, I need to be compensated for my work and my time. So there we are, the 5 things that I'm doing differently on Outschool the second time around. If you like this video, please consider commenting, liking, subscribing, all of that. If you're not currently an Outschool teacher and you're thinking about applying, you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to provide a bunch of resources to help you through the application process and through making some of your first class listings. You can send me an email at shelleyonoutSchool@gmail.com. I would love to help you out. See you guys.